Hello, you're watching Ellie from Ellymentry Papercrafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. I'm back playing with Merriest Moments again. It was one of my favourite stamp sets last Christmas when it first came in, and I've come back to it again because there's just so much you can do with it. So the card I've made this time, I've already made one. Normally I just make a one-off, but I really liked it, and it's this one. So it's not really a difficult card, it just uses a lot of elements. I've done a lot of prep ahead of time. You don't really need to watch me stamping all this and then die cutting it, because that's easy to do. You have to stamp 4 of the poinsettias. I use this one. And I used cherry cobbler. And then an assortment of leaves. It doesn't matter how many of each or what colours you use, but an assortment of the foliage. Okay, so go ahead, stamp them and then die cut them all, and then have them all ready here to start using when you're ready to build the card. I'm doing a different colourway today. Although I did really like this, I do like to change my card. So let's start then. So I'll just show you, that's the stamp set, and it comes with a set of dies, which includes this one, which we're going to use. And then let me just show you, this is how it actually comes in the pack, like that. And it shows you that obviously these are designed to use together because it fits in the middle. Okay, and then there's the leaf dies and some more leaf dies, some tiny little flowers there. They don't cut out a stamp, they're standalone dies, but these cut out the stamp shapes. So it's a fantastic set of dies. And of course, probably one of the main items in the set is of course this fabulous embossing folder, hybrid embossing folder, because it's designed to cut and emboss at the same time. Okay, we're going to be using that feature shortly. So to start with then, to actually build up the card, here are my pieces. I've chosen cherry cobbler as my card base to complement the flower. I'm sticking with the soft succulent colour because I think it really goes so lovely for Christmas. And the gold, I've got to have a bit of gold at Christmas. And then I'm using the white again. It just gives that pop between the gold and the red and makes everything really, you see all the different colours in. Okay, it makes it pop, as they say, but I don't like that expression, so I try not to use it. Okay, so then I'll just quickly tell you the sizes that I've used. Now, the card base is a really odd size. It's not a general size card, and that's because of the, when I cut this out to start with and put it down, I thought I didn't want a small card. I'm not a person who makes very small cards very often. But this shape here fitted nicely onto this size mat. And then I wanted the next mat and next mat. And then if I tried to put that on what I call a normal size card, which is A5, it didn't look right. I had to, you know, about an inch either end that was lost. It just didn't look right. So I just cut the card down. So my card is a custom card. It's 7 1/4 by 5 3/4. So my mats were derived from the size of the card. I wanted a larger border around the outside. So I made the first mat. Let's measure this for you. This is 6 1/2. Okay, and then the gold will be 6 1/4. And the paper will be 6. Okay, so it gives me that gradual difference in the borders. The measurement the other way, this I think will be 5. Yeah, so 5, 4 3/4, 4 1/2. Okay, and then it's just a simple matter of layering these up. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue around the outside of this one. Then on with this one. This paper came from Lights Aglow, the Lights Aglow pack. And I decided to use this one today because the last time I was using this pack, I think I was doing a live, and I asked which one people would like me to use, and this one was outvoted. But my dear friend Anne wanted this one. So today, Anne, this is for you. So that's our card base all ready to use. And the next layer is going to be gold. So what I did for this layer is I took some gold foil sheet and this die, and then I cut the shape from the gold foil, and this is what you end up with. Now it looks a bit strange at the moment, doesn't it? But that's okay, because what we're going to do is put a layer of white over it with this die cut, and this fits into this shape, as you can see. Okay, so all will be revealed shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut this out of some white cardstock, and that comes out like that. So as you can see, the gold shows through, and that's what we want. But we can make this even prettier than it is at the moment by using our embossing folder and our die. Okay, now because that fits snugly in there, it kind of locks into there. There's a little tiny groove in here, and that's designed so that this will fit in, so that you can emboss and cut at the same time. However, you really do need to put this over that bit, because if you do it the other way, this will obviously fall out. But this will fall out as well. So I try to just put this very carefully in the right way on this side, on top of the die, and it should work then. So you just, by eye, you can look, there's lots of points around the embossing folder you can check to get it in the right place, and then fold that one down, and once it's in and closed, it won't move. So just pop that through your die cut machine, and then you'll have the piece cut out of the middle like that, which you can use for anything, and then the piece we've cut here will be all beautifully embossed, as you can see. Gorgeous, gorgeous effect. I really love it. All the little edges here beautifully embossed. It's a really gorgeous, gorgeous embossing folder. So then that piece, now that it's been embossed, you can see how beautiful that looks upon the gold. Now, had I thought about this before, I would have actually applied some double-sided adhesive sheet to the white before I cut it out, but I forgot. So you can use your glue dots off for this. And the best way to do that, I find, is find a larger area and just pop it over the glue dot on the roll and pick it up. That's the best way to go. So this will take a little while, so I'll speed this up a bit while I'm sticking these on. Okay, now I wasn't very careful when I went around using these glue dots, and I have just ripped a little bit here. I got a bit carried away. So do be careful when you're using the glue dots. They're very, very strong. I can't get it off my finger now. So I'm just going to go round and anchor a couple of bits here and there. So I just put the glue dots behind the larger pieces. So this bit that's broken, I need to get this down in its place like so, and then ease the rest in where it belongs. But you'll find if you'd used the wet glue, the Tombow, you must use only a very small amount, because otherwise it comes out and then it can look quite ugly against your gold foil. So it's always a good idea to give yourself plenty of time if you are going to use a wet glue, or as I say, use the glue dots, or better still, remember to use the double-sided sheet to start with. That would solve all your problems. But anyway, we're there now. It hasn't taken too long, and I've just put those glue dots on about, I don't know, maybe 10 places around there. Okay, so that's secured that down. And then the next part is just playing with bits we die cut. I'm going to start with my flowers, and just to add a little bit of something to them, I'm taking my Daffodil Delight Stampin' White marker, and I'm just going to put some little dots in the middle of these, like you know, like the stamens on a poinsettia. And there's no need to be precise about this. There's two nibs on these pens. So this is like the bullet fine point when you could write with. And you've got a brush end as well that you can use to colour with. Okay, so that's those done really, really quickly. And as always, when I'm doing something like this, I do an odd number, always odd numbers, and I do one side built up more than the other. So like this one. So it would be a good idea to actually stick this down, and this I can use the wet glue. Now I might use the glue dots again for the poinsettias, because you really only need to glue the middle of the poinsettia, because we like to tuck the leaves underneath and around. It helps you with the arrangement. So let's go ahead then and take one of our poinsettias, and we'll start with that one in the top left hand corner, and put that right out there like so. And then I'll come in with the 3 for the bottom left. So I think we'll go now. I'm going to overlap them just slightly, just a little petal here and there, like so. And then we've started. So then what I tend to do is bring the foliage in, but don't actually stick it down at this point. I just bring some in and just see what they look like. Let's go for these. Like so. Try a little baby one here. Just want a few just to represent some foliage We don't want a lot on that end. That's just kind of the shadow or the repeat of this one, if you like. So I'm not sticking them in yet. I'm just placing some to give us some shaping. So as you can see, I'm just feeding them just underneath, just to see where we might like it. Nothing's set in stone at this point. And it looks quite nice if you bring some things over these edges. It doesn't all have to be contained within the frame, if you like. Now I have to be careful because I want to pop that in the middle, so I don't want to come too far over. It's nice to have a little bit of foliage there, so we're all right with that. And then I'll just fill in a little bit there. And I think that's enough now. So then I can use my Tombow glue, and all I do is just take one piece out at a time, put my glue on the bottom, and then tuck it back in. And then finally we can pop that in the middle there. That's going to look good. So that's our card using the Merriest Moments stamp set, along with the dies and the beautiful embossing folder. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and as usual I'd like you to show your appreciation by clicking on that like button. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. As I've said before, I will give away a stamp set when I get to 1,000. In the description box below, you'll find links to the current digital downloadable catalogues. That's really hard to say. And if you wish to purchase anything I've used today, or in fact anything in those catalogues, then there'll be a link to my online store as well. So once again, thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.